Hey guys, it's Kat. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on the look that I'm wearing right now. This look was inspired by the very bipolar weather in New Jersey right now. It is super cold. We're about to get a storm, but it's really sunny. And then last week it was almost 50 degrees. And it's kind of like spring wants to be here, but it doesn't yet. So yeah, that's what inspired me. I wanted to play with color, but I just thought it was too cold and I didn't want to be wearing something super bright or warm. I kind of wanted to play with my neutrals. So yeah, this is what I came up with. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more from me, please let me know. Join our little family here and subscribe. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye guys!
To start off as a primer, I'm going to be using the Amazing Cosmetics Anti-Aging Face Primer, and I'm just going to apply that to the places of my face where I have some pores. Every time I touch my face, it gets really red. But I'm going to move on to foundation. I'm going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. My shade is in NC30, and I'm just applying that with a kabuki brush. Moving on to concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Master Conceal by Face Studio Camouflaging Concealer. The shade that I'm using is in light medium, and I'm going to be blending that in first with my finger just to get the product emulsified and onto my skin, and then I'm going to be using a Real Techniques little sponge here. To set my concealer and kind of bake, I'm going to be using the RCMA No Color Powder, and I've just depotted it into this NARS little container. I'm also going to be using the same little blender that I was using before just to apply the powder. Because this is really stark white for me, I only apply it for a couple of seconds and then I use a brush just to brush it off, and I'm using here the Morphe E48 brush, which is a really nice little shape to get right underneath the eyes. Moving on to brows, I'm going to be using the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I'm using this in the shade Taupe, which is a color that I never thought I would like, but I have liked it because it's really neutral, so there isn't too much of a warm undertone or too cool. It's pretty perfect, and I like that it can just disguise if I make any boo-boos while applying my eyebrows on. Then to set my brows, I'm going to be using the Benefit Gimme Brow Gel. This kind of just brings my eyebrows back to life, and it also sets them in place. Also by Benefit, I'm going to be using their HighBrow Highlighting Pencil. This is just something I've always used just to highlight underneath my brow. It cleans it up and makes it look nice and sharp. So we're going to be using the Tarte Tartelette palette today. I'm going to be taking the first shade called Free Spirit, and that is just a creamy colored color, and it's just going to go all over my eye just to kind of give my eye a really nice and even canvas. Now I'm going to be taking the shade called Natural Beauty. It's one of my favorite shades in the palette, and I'm using the same brush. I've been using the Beauty Junkies Pro Taper Blending Brush, and I'm just going to apply this into my crease. This is going to be my transition shade. The next shade that I'm taking is called Wanderer, and I'm going to apply that all over my lid underneath my crease. I'm using a Sedona Lace EB09 brush, but pretty much you can use any brush that's flat. This one's just a little bit more fluffier, so it does diffuse the shade a little bit easier, but because it's a matte, I opted for something a little bit more fluffy. Then I'm just going to go back to my blending brush that I was using before with my crease color and just go in and blend it out. Next, I'm going to be taking the shade called PowerPlayer. This is a grayish color, and I'm using a Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, and I'm just applying that to the outer corners of my eye. And of course, after every color that I put down, I'm going to go back to my original blending brush and then just blend out any of the harsh lines. Using a Makeup Geek what are you called? An outer V brush. I'm going to apply the color called Fashionista. This is a black, and I'm just going to kind of swipe it. First, just place it onto my outer corners, kind of at an angle, and then I'm going to take the same brush that I was using before, the Luxie 231 brush, to just blend it out. I don't want to blend it too much because I do want the emphasis there, but you kind of just see how I'm just like swiping it back and forth. So with this color, it's all about placement because it's such a dark color. And after that's all done, I'm going to go back and just blend a little bit here and there. Next, I'm going to be applying my liquid liner, and I'm going to be doing the shade called Wild Green, and this is from L'Oreal. It's called the L'Oreal Infallible Paints Liquid Eyeliner. Again, the color is Wild Green. I am in love with this shade. It's not the greatest at application, but once you get it on there, the color is so beautiful that I am willing to work with it. Today for lashes, I'm going to be using House of Lashes in the style Iconic. I really love these lashes. They're really nice and full and fluttery, and I don't know, they just give every look I do an umph. For liner, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Smoke, and it is a gray. And then to smoke that out, I'm going to be using this eyeshadow from Kiko Milano, and it is in the color 115. It doesn't have a name, but it is a beautiful like tealish green, and I just thought it went perfect. And then I'm just using that Sedona lace brush to kind of just blend everything out. For mascara, I'm using the Doucce or the Doucce Boomtastic mascara. I'm using the Buxom Hot Escapes Maldives bronzer with my Sigma F40, and I'm just gonna bronze up my skin because I look a little pale. Very pale, actually. For blush, I'm using a MAC blush, and this is in the shade called Pink Cult. It is a matte blush. I don't know if this is limited edition, it might be, but I just liked the tone of it. It is really cool toned, but still nice and pink. It just kind of looks like you came in from the cold outside. For highlight, I'm using an oldie but goodie. This is the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block, and the shade is Peach Mosaic. It is really, really pretty. I can't believe I haven't used this in so long because, oh my gosh, it gave me life. Then I'm gonna bathe in Makeup Forever Mist and Fix because my skin is hella dry and it just makes the makeup look good. Then I'm gonna apply this little eyeshadow that I've had for friggin' years. This is a L'Oreal Hip High Intensity Pigment in the shade 102 Exciting. This is super old. I don't think anybody on the planet still has this, but I love the color. It is like an iridescent lilac, and I just love it. Then I'm also taking the shimmery shade, the lightest shade from the Shimmer Block, and applying that to the inner corner as well. Okay, for lip liner, I'm going to use the ColourPop liner in Wet, and I'm just going to line my lips with this. For lipstick, I chose Ofra Long Lasting liquid lipstick in the shade called Staten Island, and I fell in love. It is a really beautiful greigey neutral, I don't know, it just works. It absolutely works. And yeah, that is the complete look. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.